Have you ever wondered if you could time the real estate market and when exactly the perfect time to buy would be? Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly that. So don't go anywhere because it's coming at you right after this. What's going on, guys? Alex Dunbar here from the Dunbar Real Estate Group and RE/MAX Treeline Realty based out of the Surrey Langley areas. And in this video, I'm going to tell you the absolute best time for you to buy a home. If this is your first time on my channel, I make weekly real estate videos relevant to the BC real estate market as well as showcase community tours across the Lower Mainland. So if that's something you're interested in seeing more of, I suggest you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you're notified whenever I put out a new video. And if you're hoping to see a continued cooling in this real estate market so you can have more opportunities to buy a property, I'm gonna ask you to hit that like button. But getting right into it, I'm sure you're thinking,
oh, he's just a realtor. He's gonna tell us it's always a good time to buy.
well, not necessarily. And while I do believe there almost always are good opportunities to purchase properties, there's some times that I believe are better than others.
But wait a second. Don't you always say that you can't time the real estate market?
Again, you're correct, but just hear me out here. You're not going to necessarily be able to perfectly time the real estate market. However, there are windows of opportunity which you should try to purchase in. And although we may not know how long or short those windows are, what we do know is when we're in them. And right now, we're actually in one of those windows of opportunity. So obviously, I'm sure you know that the best time to buy would be in a buyer's market. And in a buyer's market, you typically see a high number of listings, which gives you a good number of options, as well as a lower level of competition. This in turn is going to give you your ability to do your due diligence by having subjects and conditions in your contracts, as well as giving you more leverage for negotiation. But the one thing that people forget to mention is that in a buyer's market, typically prices are coming down. And what you need to keep in mind is that most people make decisions based on their emotions. And typically, the primary driving emotion is fear. And what you may or may not realize is that fear actually drives your decisions both in a market going up as well as a market going down. In a market going up, people have the fear of missing out and just want to dive in. But in a market going down, people are fearful of prices continuing to drop. And typically this means they continue to sit on the sidelines. However, as soon as the market shifts, they then don't want to miss out and try to dive right back in. But typically by this point, it's already too late and there's already a ton of competition from other buyers. So what exactly am I getting at here? Well, in my opinion, you actually want to buy in a market that's trending sideways or even slightly down. The reason being is that you're going to have all the advantages I previously mentioned. More options, less competition, more time to do your due diligence, and more negotiation power. Additionally, the market can turn quick. And when I say quick, I mean quick. Things can literally flip on their head within a matter of a week. And the odds that you're actually able to catch on to this and get into the market during that very small time period are very slim. Additionally, what if that dream property isn't on the market during that time period, but maybe it was just a month ago? Well, you missed your shot because you're trying to perfectly time the market. And while prices maybe did come down a couple of percentage points, you missed out on your opportunity to purchase a home you're going to be living in for the next 5 to 10 years. Now, touching on that last point, I want to make sure you're aware of who this makes the most sense for. Now, this is people looking to purchase their primary residence and are planning to spend at least the next 5 years there, or at the very least 3 years. The reason being that this is pretty much going to mitigate all the risk of you losing value in your property. Plus, you'll be building equity during this time period by paying down your mortgage. And the odds of your property not being worth more 5 years from today are extremely slim. But the people who this may not make sense for are those who are only planning to be there for a year or two, or investors trying to make a quick flip.
But why would I buy in a market where prices are going down? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Well, let me show you an example of when the last big opportunity was. So the graph that you're currently looking at is of the Fraser Valley Real Estate Board over the past 10 years, the average price of all property types. Where I want you to bring your attention is to July of 2018. This was roughly the last time prices peaked at around $768,000. Now, over the next couple of months, prices slowly declined until January of 2019, where they hit around $648,000. So why am I showing you this? Well, this gap between July of 2018 and January of 2019 was actually one of your best opportunities to purchase a property. The reason being, as I've already mentioned, you had less competition, more options to choose from, more negotiating power, and you could do your due diligence. Now, even though over this time period, prices dropped by around 15%, who cares if you're holding on to it for 5 years or more? If we take a look at the following couple of years, it only took until about February of 2020 until prices hit their previous peak, and then they only went upwards from there. So by holding onto the property for a longer period of time, not only did they make all that money back that they could have potentially lost if they had bought at the very peak, but they were substantially higher than when they initially purchased. And even though there may have been a brief period where prices were a little bit lower than when they purchased, over the long run, they did extremely well. Now, as we can see at the current date, it looks like we're starting to have a bit of a dip. Now, is this going to continue? I'm not 100% sure, but I don't believe we're going to continue upwards in the near future. My thought is that we're going to trend more sideways. We may have a bit of a pullback within certain property types and certain locations, but I don't think we're going to have any sort of major crash. So as I said, I think this is one of your best opportunities to get into the market. Because yet again, I just want to reinforce, what if your dream property comes up over the next couple of months? But maybe you think prices are going to continue to fall and you're going to be able to get a better deal later on. Well, if that ideal property isn't still on the market, you don't have that opportunity. And if this is a personal purchase for yourself and or your family, it really shouldn't matter. So if this is something you've been thinking about, just consider it over these next couple of months. So to conclude, you can't perfectly time the real estate market. However, you have to look for these windows of opportunity. And as I've mentioned several times throughout this video, I believe now and in the near future is going to present a great opportunity. Now, I'm not saying this to make you feel like you need to rush and get into the market right away. However, you should be doing your due diligence now, doing your homework so that if the right property comes up, you can pull the trigger. That means speaking with a bank or a mortgage broker to get a pre-approval, speaking with a realtor who can help educate you on what's going on in the market and keep you updated, and having some sort of a plan for the future. Because if that perfect property comes onto the market tomorrow and you're not ready, someone else is gonna snatch it up. And even if prices were to slightly go down by 2, 3, 5, even 10%, as long as they're living there for the foreseeable future, they're gonna be absolutely fine. And they're gonna be the ones that get to enjoy that space while you're hoping that you don't miss out on a future opportunity. And that's about gonna do it for my video today. So if you did get any value from this, I'll ask that you do one thing for me, and that's to hit that like button. And if you're interested in seeing more videos just like this one, I suggest you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you're notified whenever I put out a new video. And if you are ready to get off the sidelines and explore your options for either your first home or potentially upsizing or downsizing, you can scroll down and hit the first link in the description to book a call with me at your earliest convenience, and we can discuss your options. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.